Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us on this Friday. Topping our news today, the continuing impacts of a massive winter storm. That storm bringing hurricane-force winds to parts of New England and a storm surge that left sections of Boston frozen in place. The storm may be gone, but in its wake, frigid temperatures. ABC's Maggie Rulli has the latest.
A bitter cold is gripping the East Coast, with temps that feel like negative 15 degrees or more, spreading from the Midwest to the Northeast. Even Florida scrambling to deal with wind chills below zero. Schools up and down the coast are closed, many for a second straight day, as sanitation crews salt the roads trying to stay ahead of what's become a deadly ice situation. Roads made worse by yesterday's monster storm.
Unquestionably the worst I've seen it down here.
Oh my God, I kept seeing it come closer and closer. It's like, oh no.
In Boston, a historic storm surge flooded the city, freezing everything in its path.
This happened all in a matter of 45 minutes.
Lifeboats, even a tractor used to rescue people from the freezing flood waters.
This is the biggest one since I was a kid in 1978.
In New York, the Coast Guard cutter was needed to break up ice in the Hudson River. At the airports today, travelers are met with bitter cold and long lines.
We're stuck here another day.
New York's JFK reopened this morning after suspending more than 3,000 flights. In Orlando, a rare sight, a plane getting de-iced. Even the animals seem to have had enough. In South Florida, iguanas are literally falling from the trees, crippled by the cold. And in Maryland, these surfers making the best of it all, hanging tent in the middle of a blizzard. And it is not over yet. It's supposed to be even colder tomorrow, with wind chills approaching negative 50 degrees in New England and even getting below zero in North Carolina. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, New York.
Well, here at home, a cold morning again. Meteorologist John Scalzi joins us now. How low did we get to?
You know, it's funny, actually. We got to 36 degrees, which was warmer than it was 24 hours ago.
By a degree? Right?
By a couple of degrees, 3 degrees. But now we're colder than we were 24 hours ago by about 3 degrees.
Wow.
So we've got some colder, drier air that has filtered in. You know, kind of another little reinforcing shot of cooler air. But I think tonight we have a kind of a combination of factors that may keep us a little bit warmer and above freezing in most locations. Okay. We don't have a freeze watch up or a freeze warning at this point. So that's a good thing, I guess. It's still going to be mighty cold tonight, no doubt about it. You just look at the horizon as the sun rose this morning and, oh, it just looked cold. The good news is, you know, we didn't have a real strong wind. It was up a little bit, and there was a little bit of a bite to the air, but not too terribly bad. A lot of blue sky out there currently, and local temperatures are reflecting some of that cooler air that's filtered in. We'll be in the 50s again today, similar temperatures to where we were yesterday. We've got some 40s in inland areas, 50s closer to the coast, wind generally out of the northeast. Across the state, temperatures are still kind of stuck in the 40s and low 50s, and if you factor in the winds, you know, still a little cooler to the north. Our wind chill and our actual air temperature are exactly the same at this hour, so wind chill not a big factor locally. But it's another cold night, no doubt about it. And we'll talk about how cold it's going to get, what to expect over the weekend, coming up in a few. Scott.
Okay, John, thank you. When the temperatures drop like they did this week, it's time to start thinking about bringing in your potted plants and protecting other sensitive plants outside. So where do you start in all that? ABC7's Stephanie Webb headed outside earlier this morning for some tips.
The best thing to do is once the temperatures start to dip into the mid-40s, 45, 44, it's a good idea to go ahead and either, if you can, bring in potted plants, bring them inside the house, or at least put them in an enclosed area that's protected from the elements such as the wind. That's what causes some of the most damage, is the breeze that comes through. If you wait till it's in the 30s, it's too late.
All right, sounds good. Now, it's all about the technique as well. There is a right way to cover up, and there is right material to cover up the shrubbery with. So tell us a little bit about what you've got it cocovered up with today.
All right. Well, actually, what I have this covered up right now with is just an everyday, you can find them at home, bed sheet. The other thing that you don't want to use is plastic. Plastic actually conducts heat, or not heat, but actual cold. It actually freezes the plants fast. So if you use this, you're actually going to destroy all your plants.
All right, and so the big question, if it accidentally goes horribly wrong and you forget to cover up some of those plants and shrubberies, do they make a comeback? Can you bring them back to life?
Yes, just like, you know, animals in the wintertime, plants hibernate as well. So what happens when they do freeze, if you forget to cover them, a lot of times people think that they're dead and they'll actually rip them out of the ground. Most of the time they're actually alive. So what you want to do is wait till it warms up and you will actually see green leaves start to form again on the bare branches, and those branches that do not form leaves, you can go ahead and trim those back.
All right, this has all been some great information for us today. Thanks for spending some time in the cold outside this morning with us. You've got more tips. We're going to put all of these tips, plus others, online. You can find them all at mysuncoast.com. Back to you guys in the much warmer studio.
All right, Stephanie, thank you. These cold days and nights have been tough for people living on the street as well. Cold weather shelters on the Suncoast remain available and open to help get people off the street and into a warm place. Those who utilize the Salvation Army shelter in Sarasota not only have a place to stay with bedding, they also get free hot meals. There's no cost, and it has brought in hundreds of people each night. Many of them say these shelters are a godsend.
The gratitude that I have is overwhelming. I don't know where I would be right now if I didn't have the Salvation Army the last couple days.
The food and the warmth, just, it's not always comfortable, but it's always here.
Several places in Sarasota and Manatee counties continue to offer free shelters to get in from the cold, and they will be open again tonight. This week's massive winter storm still impacting travel across the country and here on the Suncoast. 5 flights are canceled today at the Sarasota-Bradenton International Airport. Those flights are to and from places in the Northeast, including New York and Boston. The president of SRQ told us yesterday that flights could be impacted for days as airlines try to catch up with all those cancellations. The Bradenton Fire Department investigating the cause of a fire that left 17 people out on the street last night. That fire started at Sun Chase Apartments off 59th Street West around 6:30 last evening. And it only took firefighters about 15 minutes to put it out. There were 8 apartments in the building, and the fire heavily damaged 4 of them. The other 4 suffered smoke damage. The Red Cross was on the scene to help find shelter for those who had nowhere else to go. No one was hurt in the fire, but fire officials say 4 pets did perish in the fire. ABC 7's business commentator Jeff Stern joins us now with a check on the day on Wall Street so far. And Jeff, even though it's only been 4 days now, we're off to a really good start in 2018, aren't we?
Scott, that is right. So far, the Dow is up about 1.5%. NASDAQ's leading the way, 2.5%, while the S&P is close to 2%. It's been a strong 2018 for these 4 days that we've had. U.S. Treasuries, the 10-year is up about 2.46, so a couple of hundredths of a point, but we'll take it. But we are starting off like we left 2017. The markets are positive. Stores are closing. There's been a couple of retailers saying they're closing more and more stores. And hackers, as we've probably heard today, are hacking away, and we want to make sure we keep all of our electronics up to date with the latest protection. I woke up this morning, the futures were positive, so let's see how we're currently trading. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is trading over that 25,167, up 92 points, 0.36%. NASDAQ positive, 7,121, up 43 points, over 0.5%, while the S&P is trading at 2,733, up almost 10 points, 0.36% in the green as well, Scott.
Well, Jeff, the last jobs report for 2017 came in this morning. How did the year look for job growth?
Over 2 million jobs for 2018, Scott. Very well. Came in at 148,000, much lower than the 190 that they were expecting. So 2 million for 2017. To put that in comparison, 2016 had 2.1 million, 2015 2.5, and 2014 2.7. So we've been on a kick for the jobs increasing, which is very impressive. Unemployment still at 4.1%. We're happy with that. Hourly earnings rose 0.3%. So for the year, it's about 2.5%. We do want that to see right around 3 or so, but it's still rising, so that's a positive. 18 states are actually going to increase the minimum wage, so that should help. One issue employers are having actually is they're finding qualified employees that aren't currently working is very difficult. This is the worst it's been, they said, and for the life of them been trying, employment. So over 54% are having a hard time, they say. So what they're having to do is find employees that are currently working at other companies. So that's why we've probably seen some of that downward trend at only 2 million, but still it's positive. 87 consecutive months of growth. Scott, will appreciate that, and we may not see the stellar jobs numbers, but we should see that unemployment stay around where it is, and hopefully that job growth rate should increase.
Okay, we'll wait and see. Jeff, thanks so much.
Have a great weekend, Scott.
You too. Still to come in your Suncoast News, the CDC is investigating an E. coli outbreak. Why you should maybe avoid some salad ingredients. Several weeks ago, he was endorsed for governor by President Trump. We'll show you who's decided to run for Florida governor. Linda?
The ABC 7 Stock Report is brought to you by Sunset Cadillac.
I love taking care of my mom. It wasn't easy at first. She learned how to better communicate her needs.
And you learned how to not ignore yours.
I discovered how to make healthier meals.
And I discovered how much I enjoyed them.
Becoming a caregiver is a learning experience for everyone. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, ANDservices.com.
I was always worried and scared. Mom was in pain. She wasn't going to get any better, and all the trips to the ER were painful for all of us. Then we called Tidewell Hospice, and everything changed. Now she has care in our home when she needs it, surrounded by family. We know we don't have much time left with Mom, but we decided to make the best out of that time. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
It's time to take a road trip.
Alabama's got 100 road trips, and some will take you back in time to the Civil Rights Movement or even the Civil War. You boys play nice now. From Helen Keller to Hamlet. Check out these big guns. We're talking the USS Alabama. Alabama's got 100 road trips. Plan yours at alabama.travel.
Which one you gonna take?
My name is Haley. I have Fragile X syndrome. I work with Chartwells at Einstein's and FAU. I like being up front and interacting with students. The students are very nice and very hungry. Having a job is a big ticket for independence.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Watch Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7, weekdays starting at 5.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, ANDservices.com.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we're looking at an air temperature which has fallen compared to 24 hours ago over the last couple of hours, but in particular, the surge of drier air is most remarkable. We're at a dew point now of 12. 12. I haven't seen a dew point like that in a year. That is, that's about as low as it gets around here. Absolutely desert-like. Now expect that dew point to be rising over the course of the next 48 hours. But I tell you, if we keep these low dew points right through the evening, we're going to need some cloud cover around here to keep our nighttime temperatures up, I think. Northeast wind coming in at about 12 right now, and you look at the current temperatures across the state, and yes, indeed, they are chillier to the north, and they're chilly in our neck of the woods. But as I mentioned, it's those dew point values that are really significant. 52 Mayaca City, Northport at 54, Venice at 52, 52 Braden, 50 at Parrish. Dry as a bone across the entire state. There's not a drop of rain falling. We do have some cloud cover back to the west, though, and that's going to be important. We'll talk about that in just a minute. To the northeast, all the snows have ended. It was a very fast-moving, although powerful system that moved across the area, and it certainly dumped as much as 2 feet of snow in some parts of the northeast and a foot of snow kind of widespread, or close to, in most locations, widespread near the coastline. So a significant dumping of snow, and of course the strong winds, has now subsided so that the airports can get back to business in all locations. In fact, the entire eastern seaboard, the mid-Atlantic, the Midwest, the open plains, all very quiet right now under the influence of a big ridge of high pressure that sits right over that area. Now it's also directing our winds out of the north, and that's why we got that little surge of that cooler, drier air kind of on the backside of that low pressure area, really drawing that down from Canada. I think that ends today, though, but we still have one more cool night to go, and then we'll start to see the warming this weekend. We'll start to see the dew point values go up, and that's going to be very helpful to a lot of people I know who've been heating their houses. And once you heat that really dry air, then you get really, really dry air inside your home, and that's very aggravating to some folks. Rain chances next week as we get a series of little weak disturbances moving through here. So if you look at the dew point temperatures, I mean, they're just remarkably low. Single-digit dew point temperatures in North Florida. It doesn't get any drier than that. And of course, dry air has the characteristic of heating up pretty quickly, but it also has the characteristic of cooling off pretty quickly too. So when the sun goes down, if the winds calm down, which it looks like they will, we're going to need that cloud cover back to the west to move in here to keep our temperatures up above freezing during the overnight. Now, there are no freeze warnings or watches up for our area yet, but that could change later in the day. So if you have covered your plants, I'd leave them covered for one more night. I know there were some inland temperatures again this morning, which were in the upper 20s. Northeast wind coming in at about 10 to 15 across the region, kind of subsiding a little bit during the evening hours. And the forecast looks like this: a couple of cooler than average days. Nighttime temperatures low tonight, then starting to warm tomorrow night. Over the course of the weekend, we're going to warm nicely into the 70s by Monday, and then factor in that chance of rainfall. But even with a front kind of moving through, we're still going to stay in the 70s right through the beginning of next work week. Scott?
Okay, John, thank you so much. While you may be more worried about your diet this new year, it's your baby's diet that has some experts concerned. A new report this week revealing that nearly 1 out of 3 parents introduce solid foods to their baby's diet too early or some too late. And researchers warn that getting the timing wrong may increase a baby's risk for developing diseases such as celiac disease or type 1 diabetes. The magic window, most experts agree, foods other than breast milk or formula should be incorporated around the 6-month mark. An E. coli outbreak is now being linked to leafy greens and romaine lettuce. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention reporting E. coli made 17 people across 13 states sick in late November and early December. One person even died. A similar strain caused an outbreak in Canada in early November through early December, with 41 people getting sick. CDC says the source of the infection is still unknown, and it is still investigating the outbreak. Time now to check in with ABC 7 Culinary Director Judy Gallagher, who is enjoying lunch today at Napoli Restaurant in Sarasota. Judy?
Welcome to Napoli. The original owners of Made in Italy had promised me that they were going to create their dream, and after they sold their business in Venice, they did that and more so. I've probably eaten here 8 times since they opened in the last month. Reservations highly recommended. They're open for lunch and dinner, closed on Sundays. Look at the heart of the house. Everything happens right in front of you. It's such a visual. It's a 2-story building, exposed bricks, some beautiful artwork. But what I love are the imported cheeses and meat counter right here. You can come in and buy bread, all sorts of charcuterie, homemade desserts, and of course we have the massive, beautiful pizza oven straight from Italy. This is going to be the most tasteful day, and I am so happy to bring it all to you from Napoli, right here on the South Trail in Sarasota.
When it comes to drinking, what do you think moderation is? The U.S. Dietary Guidelines define moderation as up to 1 drink a day for women and up to 2 drinks a day for men. So what's a drink? The guidelines say a drink equals 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, or a cocktail with 1.5 ounces of distilled spirits. Each contains the same amount of alcohol. Like to learn more? Visit drinkinmoderation.org.
Ever since I can remember, I've been intrigued by industrial design and the optimization.
Wait, that's passion? Ever since I can remember, my passion has been industrial design. We need 3D printers for Miss Adams' engineering program so that we are ready to solve 21st century challenges.
Impressive. Think It Up is a new initiative to support student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classroom today? Think it up.
I took my first handful of pills, and that's when all my priorities seemed to change.
He would ask to use the bathroom in other people's homes.
He just assumed that they would have medication.
He'd go in their medicine cabinets and steal prescription drugs.
I wish I knew really what these prescription pills were.
We were so naive about the whole drug thing.
These are all synthetic forms of heroin.
Keep your medication locked up because you'll never notice that a pill is gone.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
There was this big bruise on my friend's face. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it. My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator. There was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him.
It's tough to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. Elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs. Stop the crimes.
About every 3 minutes in America, someone is diagnosed with a blood cancer. Light the Night brings together survivors and supporters to bring light to the darkness of cancer and to help fund life-saving research. Our goal is a world without blood cancers, and we're lighting the path to cures. The discoveries made in blood cancer research have led to breakthrough treatments for many cancers and other serious diseases. Help defeat the darkness of cancer. Join Light the Night today.
ABC7 is the most watched, most trusted news source on the Suncoast, and we owe it all to you, our loyal viewers. Thank you for making us #1.
We're joined with Marcia Panucci here with little Poochie. Little Poochie. Panucci with Poochie.
Yes, absolutely. Very good, John. And Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you too, Marcia. This is just a gorgeous dog, but you can tell that she maybe has had some rough times and needs some love.
Yeah, she does, and we're hoping that she's going to have a wonderful 2018 in a new home. Her owner passed away, and as so many times happens, they do not take the time to make sure that the dogs are taken care of after they're no longer here. And so Poochie got pushed around a little bit, ended up with a family member who did probably nothing more than just give some water and a little food, and that was the end of it. But Poochie needs a lot more, and especially on these cold days, she's a snuggler.
No, is she really?
Yeah, she's
Hi,
a
sweetie.
snuggler.
How you doing?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so she's 8 years young.
And so she's got a lot of spry
yes,
years left,
yes.
especially these breeds of dogs. They live a long time.
Yes, they do, John. You can easily get them to 15 or 16 if they're in good health. Well, she likes that.
Oh,
now, it takes a little extra time to take some treats because in the process, she's lost some teeth.
Okay.
So,
well, you'll like these little soft ones then.
Yeah, you know, no dentures here. She just glums it on down. But she is just adorable, and she needs somebody who's going to give her the love and attention, John, that she so richly, richly deserves.
Dogs like this, they'll just bond with you so closely once you take them into their home. They'll be absolutely lifetime companion.
And you know, she's learned to be groomed because she was not groomed.
Oh, you
and
like
so
those.
now she likes going to the beauty parlor.
Oh,
and
bless your heart.
Yes, she's just, and you know, I have to say something. Look, she's a white miniature poodle, no yellow.
Yeah.
Look at that, no yellow. So she
really
is
beautiful.
She's really gorgeous.
And a real sweetheart.
Yes.
All right, very quickly tell us how we go about adopting her.
Well, she is being presented today by the Florida Poodle Rescue.
Whom we love.
Oh, we do, because you have a special.
I have one from there. Yes, I do.
And you can call them at 727-265-1766.
Great organization.
Make an application just like you did. Go through the interview, and maybe Poochie will be in your house.
Marcia, thank you so much. Poochie, good luck. You are a sweetheart. Yes, you are a sweetheart. All right, let's jump back over to Marcia, who's eating Italian today. Hey, Marcia.
It might be Judy.
Or Judy, I'm sorry. What was I thinking?
But I'll go eat Italian.
I apologize. Judy, hi, Judy. Sorry about that. What you got for us, Judy?
I'm so happy that you're here, Alessandro. It's been a while, and you have built this unbelievable restaurant. Tell us a little bit about it.
Basically, that's a project that me and Pepe, we were thinking about already a couple of years ago. And we waited until we sold Made in Italy Venice, and we put all our passion and dedication to this job. As you can see, finally we came up with this is the real dream come true. So we took 7 months from the moment that we start demo the building that it was here before, the former ice cream called Sweet Frog. So we turn it down to the ground and we built from scratch to make sure we have the one, the restaurant that we really want with everything that somebody can ask. So
I feel like we're in different parts of Italy, right within the building. Let's talk about the gentleman that's right behind me, slicing the prosciutto. And
yeah, that's something that Pepe always wanted to do. Finally, now we have the space to do it. And this fridge is also important from Italy. It's a wall-mounted fridge, refrigerator for meat and cheese, and we have all meat and cheese from Italy. That is very hard to find in Sarasota. Probably there's a few items that we are the only place carrying these items. So, as you can see, we cut our meat right on order, so the meat is always fresh, always with an amazing perfume like mortadella, prosciutto, salami. So that's one of the news that we brought up.
I love it. Now, you are really known for your cocktails. When you expanded your previous restaurant and you built that bar, I had the good fortune of coming in and you were testing a few. I want to talk about some of these craft cocktails.
For example, this cocktail you see in front of you, this is it's Coco Passion. We call it Coco Passion because it's a combination of coconuts and passion fruit, fresh passion fruit. So it's amazing. We got vodka, lychee liqueur, coconut cream, lychee juice, passion fruit syrup, fresh passion fruit, and it's so refreshing you don't even imagine. It's perfect cocktail for Sarasota. So
well, it really is, and there's so much more. I mean, they have a full bar, an amazing wine list, and of course there's all the food. So we're going to talk to Alessandro's partner Pepe in just a few minutes and find out what's on the table, but I can tell you my lunch is going to be great. Thank you, my friend.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate, and it's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
Are you a soccer mom or dad? Regardless of their age or experience level, when your kids play soccer or any other sport, there's one person on the sideline who is key to help recognize and seek medical care for sports-related concussion. It's you. You need to know the signs and symptoms of concussion, and you need to act if you think your child has been injured. Remember, when in doubt, sit them out. To learn more, go to cdc.gov/concussion. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004.
Coast Guard, we are taking on water.
The United States Coast Guard. They secure our ports and waterways, protect our environment, keep drugs away from our kids, and save lives. It's dangerous work. And in times of triumph or tragedy, the Coast Guard Foundation answers the call to support Coast Guard members and their families. Learn more at coastguardfoundation.org.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. We're gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. So wet.
Hi, I'm Janelle Hale, founder and CEO of the National Breast Cancer Foundation. No one should face breast cancer alone. When I was diagnosed 36 years ago, there was no internet, and I had to make a decision with little information. Early detection saved my life. It could save yours too. To learn what every woman needs to know about breast cancer, visit nbcf.org/hope.
Everything all right? Actually, you know how Tom had knee surgery? Sure. We found out Brad's been taking his painkillers. And it turns out he's been doing it for a while.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
Live from our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is ABC 7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Welcome back. We're going to start off this this news hour with the weather, of course. Everyone's been getting great use of sweaters and jackets and boots, and I've seen it all this week, and
you know,
we needed it.
I don't know. I have found that the days are really okay.
Yeah.
Not so, you know, it's something you stay in a sheltered place and you put on a light jacket, you're okay. But boy, as soon as the sun goes down, it turns so cold.
Yep.
You know, the winds start to die down as soon as the sun goes down, and then the clear skies and the dry air just don't retain the heat, and boy, it gets cold fast. This morning we were a few degrees warmer than we were 24 hours ago, so a lot of us stayed above the freezing mark, so that was good news. There were some pockets of freezing temperatures around, and I suspect there will probably be a few pockets, especially well inland, of some freezing temperatures tonight, but a lot fewer than we have seen. As you just saw, literally crystal clear skies in a lot of places. And current temperatures are just a degree or two cooler than they were 24 hours ago, even though we started off the morning a little bit warmer. 51 Sarasota, 48 degrees in Bradenton, and in Venice it's 49. You can see that cloud cover back to the west. That cloud cover back to the west may be key to keeping us above freezing overnight. 57 degrees by about 3 p.m. with some of those clouds kind of working their way in, high clouds, and then overnight kind of a mix of clouds and clear skies. Cold night, no doubt about it. 47 degrees by about 9 o'clock tonight. Complete forecast in a few. Scott?
Okay, John, thank you. More than 3 months after Hurricane Maria, nearly half of Puerto Rico is still without power. Florida Power and Light has sent 140 workers to the island this month to aid in restoration efforts. They'll join a 10-person team that's already there. Utility company saying customers and employees have strong ties to Puerto Rico, so the company feels a responsibility to help get the lights back on and help return a sense of normalcy to that island.
Well, I got friends, a lot of friends, and friends that I consider family, and I want to go and help the people of Puerto Rico get their power back on because it's such a fundamental, part of life.
Okay, sounds good. FPL officials saying that they will remain in Puerto Rico to support restoration efforts for as long as needed. An update now on an armed bank robbery in Bradenton. Police say 18-year-old Julian Jimenez of Bradenton had robbed the Florida Central Credit Union on 9th Street West armed with a handgun Thursday afternoon. Investigators say Jimenez fired 2 rounds into the ceiling and then told customers and bank employees it was a robbery. He's accused of jumping the counter, stealing cash, and then leaving in a car. About 30 minutes later, the Manatee County Sheriff's Office got a call of a suspicious person on 33rd Avenue Drive East. Deputies found Jimenez and say he had a handgun and a large amount of cash. He's now charged with armed robbery. City of Venice is resuming road resurfacing on the island. Sarasota Herald Tribune reporting the city will start work on 15 roads on the island. Contractors will also be repaving sidewalks, updating curb ramps. The roads will be resurfaced in 2-week increments. And for a list of the schedule, you can go to the Venice website. It's venicegov.com. In Washington, the White House is still dealing with the fallout from the book Fire and Fury. White House officials even facing questions about President Trump's mental fitness. ABC's Arlette Saenz has the latest.
Already on the bestseller list, Fire and Fury is fueling questions about whether President Trump is fit to serve. On NBC's Today Show, the book's author Michael Wolff says those around the president have concerns about his mental stability.
Let me put a marker in the sand here. 100% of the people around him.
The White House has pushed back.
It's disgraceful and laughable. If he was unfit, he probably wouldn't be sitting there.
Hours before the book's release, the president sounded off, tweeting the book is full of lies, misrepresentations, and sources that don't exist. ABC News has not confirmed the claims in Fire and Fury. One of the sources for the book says some of the quotes and anecdotes are true, but were taken out of context.
No, I think there's some anecdotes that may be true, but there's also the problem I have, George, is that with this book, as with many stories, is that if it's 10% or 20% or 50% or 70% that isn't true, the reader's not left to know which is true and which is not.
And the White House is also facing new allegations the president attempted to interfere with the Russia investigation. The New York Times reports the president asked his top lawyer to stop Attorney General Jeff Sessions from recusing himself. The paper reports White House counsel Don McGahn did lobby Sessions, but was unsuccessful, and Sessions stepped aside from the probe. The New York Times also reports days before FBI Director James Comey was fired, Sessions sent an aide to Capitol Hill to ask a congressional staffer if he had dirt on Comey. A Justice Department spokeswoman disputes that report, saying this did not happen and would not happen, plain and simple. Arlette Saenz, ABC News, Washington.
A North Florida congressman entering the race for governor, Representative Ron DeSantis, announcing his candidacy this morning, just weeks after President Trump tweeted that he would make a great governor. DeSantis is a Navy veteran and graduate of both Yale and Harvard. He's represented Northeast Florida since 2013. Rick Scott's term as governor will end next January due to term limits. A human trafficking task force operating in Florida could turn into a national model due to its focus on more than just prosecution. Justice Department officials say it's equally important to focus on victims to help them recover, encourage them to testify if necessary. The Justice Department prosecuted 553 human trafficking cases across the country last year. The task force is made up of several federal agencies, the Miami-Dade Police Department, and non-governmental groups that help victims. Frustration in several states with pot-friendly laws on the books. Attorney General Jeff Sessions rescinded what's called the Cole Memo yesterday. It's an Obama-era guideline that basically lets state law enforcement look the other way regarding marijuana arrest where the drug is legal. Federal prosecutors nationwide now will decide how to enforce federal marijuana laws in states where voters and lawmakers have approved its use. Some leaders in pot-friendly states are now vowing to fight.
We believed in Colorado that states' rights would be protected. I will be putting today a hold on every single nomination from the Department of Justice until Attorney General Jeff Sessions lives up to the commitment that he made to me.
We will not be bullied by the Trump administration or by the Department of Justice.
8 states plus the District of Columbia have all legalized recreational marijuana. The White House says Thursday's move is just to enforce existing federal laws. One thing that's heating up on this cold winter day is lottery fever. Tonight's Mega Millions jackpot now stands at $445 million, and Powerball is up to $550 million. If there's a winner tonight, it would be the 4th largest jackpot in Mega Millions history and the 13th largest in U.S. history. Now, if the winner chooses the cash option, that would pay out just over $277 million. And by the way, the Powerball drawing is set for tomorrow night. Good luck. Well, a lot of people are keeping a close eye on the forecast before making plans for the weekend. Myakka State Park has already moved its Moon Over Myakka concert from tonight to January 19th. But most venues are going full steam ahead with their plans. ABC 7's Linda Carson has more on the Suncoast scene.
Kids are going to love this one, an outdoor movie on the big screen at Nathan Benderson Park beside the lake. This is going to be a monthly event, and this is the first one of 2018. The movie is Disney's Moana.
We're going to have it right here on the beach side. We are prepared for the colder weather that's hitting us at the moment with a nice bonfire and s'mores that we'll be offering up to our community, along with some vendors that will be doing some hot chocolate and some hot beverages. And it's a free event, and we welcome everyone to come out to this and experience it and have a great time with us. We'll be doing Sleepless in Seattle for a little date night for the adults of the community to come out on February 10th as well.
The gates open at 4:30 and the movie starts at sunset, which is about 6 o'clock. And don't forget to bring your jackets and your blankets so you can bundle up while you have a good time. There will be a few chairs there, but just to be safe, better bring a chair of your own. And Music on Main is a go in Lakewood Ranch despite the cold temperatures. It's Friday night from 6 to 9. Robin and the Retros is the band, and they are bound to warm things up. And come by the ABC 7 booth and say hello. And if you haven't heard Robin and the Retros, you are going to love them. They play music from the 50s, 60s, 70s, and so forth, and they will have you dancing on the street. The 11th Annual Venice Antique Show is going to be at the Venice Community Center on Saturday and Sunday this weekend. And the Sarasota Orchid Society presents its 61st annual show this weekend. It's at the Sarasota Municipal Auditorium, Saturday and Sunday. you'll be surrounded by a sea of orchids.
There'll probably be about, I'd say 1,000 that will be displayed by 4 societies: Sarasota Orchid Society, Venice Orchid Society, Manatee Orchid Society, and Venice Orchid Society, with about 3,000 or 4,000 that will be sold by the vendors.
There'll also be classes in how to grow orchids, and the local orchid societies will compete to see who has raised the most beautiful and unique flowers. So start the new year right and celebrate January on the Suncoast. Linda Carson, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Linda, thank you so much. Things to do inside and outside as well. Time to check in again with ABC7 Culinary Director Judy Gallagher, who joins us today from a new restaurant in Sarasota called Napoulet.
And the master of the kitchen, it's so good to see you, Pepe.
Yeah. Thank you for coming. Actually in our new restaurant, Napoulet, and this is some of our creation from our menu. And
let's go right with the pizza.
This is still our pizza by the meter concept, and I did some of our combination from the menu. Then actually we have more than 20 different combination. And what I made, I did like arugula with fresh burrata cheese.
I call that side.
Yeah. Then we have a guy from Miami. Then he makes all the fresh mozzarella and burrata cheese, and he's from Puglia. And I did the classic, because you can never miss, you know, the Regina Margherita with San Marzano tomato and fresh buffalo mozzarella. And this one is another great combination with mortadella and pistachio and pistachio cream
it's killing me. Let's go over to the grilled shrimp.
This one is some of our entree for seafood. It's jumbo shrimp with fresh sea scallops, over arugula, porcini mushroom, and truffle oil. It's really great combination. And like we make all our own pasta. We have an industrial pasta machine, and we can produce from 60 to 80 kilos of pasta hour. And we have 20 different dyes in bronze. This is one of our homemade pasta, then it's homemade linguine with fresh lobster. And this is another authentic dish.
I love the sauce in there.
And it's a satay octopus with fresh tomato, a little bit spicy, and we serve that with fried crostini bread. It's unbelievable. It's really good.
Now, for a combination for a bruschetta, you have to, I see one with a little bit of Brussels sprout. I love it.
Yeah, actually, it's my preferred. It's really, really good. It's a crispy Brussels sprouts over stracciatella cheese. Stracciatella cheese is the inside of burrata cheese. And right on top is finished with truffle honey. It's unbelievable.
I love how you light up when you say truffle oil. Now, we're almost out of time, but let's talk about the sandwich.
This is another, actually, the pizza sandwich is another of our new creation here.
For
that
lunch.
We bring, from Naples. We call pizza saltimbocca, panuozzo. And we make this just at lunchtime. We have a different combination. It's really good.
And I have to mention the pasta.
Really tasty. Pappardelle with truffle pistachio cream and pistachio crumble and speck. You can really taste the combination between the pistachio and is sweet
the
and
balance,
the speck.
yes.
Yeah,
It's
really
amazing.
good.
Now we're out of time, but there's mixed grill and there's so much more. So I'm gonna let you get back in the kitchen while I finish up and move over to the pizza counter and have a little dessert right here at Napoulet.
Sarasota Institute of Lifetime Learning begins its 47th season on Monday, January 8th in Sarasota, Venice, and Lakewood Ranch. Meet Bruce Adolph, the piano puzzler for NPR on Monday, January 8th, and Chris Inglis, former Deputy Director of the National Security Agency, on Tuesday, January 9th. 72 Global Issues lectures, 24 musical conversations. Subscriptions available now. Single event tickets at the door. For more information and to purchase season tickets, visit sillsarasota.org.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G-Freed has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G-Freed Flooring America. G-Freed Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Performing on stage takes mental and physical preparation. But one thing I never thought to prepare for was cervical cancer. 91% of cervical cancers are caused by the human papillomavirus, or HPV. The good news is there are vaccines that can protect you or your children from cancer. I survived my cancer, but you can stop cancer before it starts. Talk to your doctor and go to thinkaboutthelink.org to learn more.
Don't allow your weight to threaten your health or control your future. Excess weight or obesity can cause emotional and physical health risks. But you can take control. The Your Weight Matters campaign offers free resources and tips to help you measure and understand your weight. Take the Your Weight Matters Challenge. The free toolkit prepares you to speak with a healthcare provider about your weight. Your weight does matter. Take the challenge and take control today.
ABC 7, your official Florida lottery station for the Suncoast. Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we're looking at a lot of sunshine out there, a 51-degree air temperature, but a dew point so terribly low at 12. Like I say, that's about as low as it gets. But up in the Panhandle, they're in the single digits for dew points. That's bone dry air, and that's the kind of stuff that cools off very quickly. So what we need to do is find a way to keep that nighttime air a little bit warmer, and I think we'll be able to do that with a little bit of cloud cover that'll be coming in from the Gulf. 48 degrees in Parrish, Wauchula at 48, Bradenton at 48, Lakewood Ranch at 48, 51 Sarasota, 49 in Venice, and 49 in Inglewood. You know, we started the morning off a degree or two warmer than we were 24 hours ago, and now we're a degree or two cooler than we were 24 hours ago because of this little shot of cooler, much drier air that has filtered southward. I think as we head into the next 24, certainly 48 hours, we'll watch that wind start to shift a little bit more in an easterly direction and draw in a little bit more moisture with time, kind of cutting off that drainage supply from the north. But until then, it's certainly going to be a kind of a bone dry air that you heat in your home, and that's going to make it feel even a little bit harder in terms of those folks who are suffering from sinus issues with really dry heated air, or skin that gets real dry and cracked. You know, that's going to be the case probably for another day or two, as long as we run the heat. Out to the west, you can see a little bit of a rain shower activity out there. That's from cloud cover that's coming in from Gulf waters, and that will bring us a little bit of overnight cloud and hopefully kind of cut off the heat loss during the overnight and keep us a little bit warmer and above freezing everywhere. We don't have any freeze watches up right now. Big ridge of high pressure sits over the eastern seaboard, and that directs our winds out of the north. We have one more cold night in store for us, and then we'll start to watch those winds draw back in the moisture and shift in a way that'll bring us a little bit of warming. And then we get some rain shower chances next week as another front approaches. But don't worry, the next front coming our way is not going to be the kind of a front that brings us that bone dry air. There's the cloud cover kind of working in this direction. First we get the high thin clouds, then we get some lower level clouds, I think, as we head into the overnight. I just don't know if it's going to be a complete blanket of clouds, or if we're going to get enough holes to allow those temperatures to drop into the 30s. If it is a complete blanket of clouds, we'll stay in the 40s. Northeast wind coming in at about 15, subsiding to 10 to 15 during the overnight. And we'll go with a nighttime low of about 37 tonight. And then tomorrow we'll warm up to 60. So a little bit of a warming trend, and it'll be a warmer night tomorrow night as well. And then the chance of rain showers the beginning of next week as we keep our temperatures in the 70s. Scott?
All right, John, thanks so much. Well, heating your home can cost you more than cooling your house. And one tip to save money is set your thermostat to around 68 degrees and keep your fan set on auto. ABC's Rebecca Jarvis has more ideas for keeping your electricity bill low this winter.
Tonight, with temperatures dropping, we scoured the country for the top tips to save on those rising bills. First stop, Lancaster, Ohio, where we found Nick Anderson recommending these affordable weatherproofing kits for your windows.
It has a self-adhesive on it, so you'll put it on the frame,
and then the excess you'll just cut off with a utility knife or even a scissors.
Next up, Savings Pro Lisbeth Cole, hunkering down in Saratoga, New York.
Unplug those electronics that you're not using.
In fact, just unplugging your laser printer could save you up to $130 a year.
If you're not using a room, go ahead and close the vents in that room. That way the heat will get to where it needs to go.
And in Nutley, New Jersey, advice for anyone with a fireplace when the fire's out.
Make sure that damper is in the closed position. That damper can let a tremendous amount of air out up your chimney.
Finally, washing your clothes in cold water could save you another $60, and lowering the hot water heater temperature to 120 degrees could save you $60 more.
You'd be surprised how much cold air can come in through the light switches and the electrical outlets. For just a few dollars at the hardware store, you can purchase for yourself foam plate outlet seals. Those you can attach yourself to the light fixtures, and it could save you hundreds of dollars in energy costs. Rebecca Jarvis, ABC News, New York.
And remember, some of those things can work for us in the summertime, too, when we're trying to keep our homes cool. Still to come in your Suncoast News, Jeopardy host Alex Trebek taking a break from the show. We'll tell you why when we come back.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, ANDservices.com.
You can do something about a crime, any crime, and you can receive a reward of up to $3,000 cash. Call Crime Stoppers with information about criminal activity, unsolved crimes, drug dealers, fugitive criminals, stolen property, illegal weapons. Call 366-TIPS. You will remain anonymous. Visit SarasotaCrimeStoppers.com. Download the Crime Stoppers P3 mobile app from the Apple iTunes Store or Google Play. Call Crime Stoppers 366-TIPS. Paid for by the Attorney General's Office, Crime Stoppers Trust Fund.
Everybody can make something, because I think everyone has a spark of creativity, and the reason that I have to keep making is because I don't think my life would be as fulfilling without it. If you make things yourself, that means you're not cowering in fear. You're out there taking chances. That, I think, is my way of saying I love you to the world. All right, now I want to hear why you make.
Share your own Why I Make story today. Visit whyimake.org.
It doesn't take a scientist to cure hunger or a fancy economist to create safe housing. It takes imagination, creativity, sweat equity. And I think of kids going to school hungry. Hunger, homelessness. In this land of plenty, seriously? Come on, we could fix this. Help out, or don't. The choice is yours.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish!
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
My name is Julius. I have cerebral palsy. I work for Farmer Jeffy Weising Law Firm. I do a lot of data entry and scanning documents. I want to increase my working experience to make the company much better. At the end of the day, it's good to think of the day's work and to think about what I have accomplished.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC 7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, ANDservices.com.
Pepe, introduce us to your infamous pastry chef and bread maker.
Yeah, this is Federico, our pastry and bakery guy from Italy.
Federico, please tell me what
Yes,
you prepared.
here we got our famous tiramisu, excellent with chocolate around it. Here the lobster tail with
One of my favorites.
fresh fruits. Yes, right there we have the caprese dolce is original from Capri. And this is the pastiera napoletana, which is a ricotta tart with a candied fruit inside.
Now, you also sell these desserts to go, so people can just walk in, buy some salami and prosciutto and breads and desserts, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So trust me, I know you might be really stuffed after you eat lunch or dinner here at Napoli, but you're really going to want to end with a lovely little dessert. So to everyone here, I want to thank you and congratulations. Your years and years of great calories to come. Have a great weekend, and I'm going to send it back to you guys.
All right, Judy, thank you so much. Well, Jeopardy host Alex Trebek is on medical leave after undergoing brain surgery. The 77-year-old host hit his head in a bad fall back in October. Doctors performed surgery to remove blood clots from his brain. Trebek said in a video on Jeopardy's website that his prognosis is excellent and he expects to resume show production very soon. I was surprised that he's 77 years old.
Oh, yeah.
Because he looks amazing.
He looks really sharp, too. That's something else. Boy, you never know, a little slip and fall like that. And
yep, can change everything.
Change everything, yeah. Have a great weekend. Stay warm.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again at 5 o'clock.
My name is Stefan Campagna. We're Ben Gates and Dramus, and here is your law tip of the week. If you've been injured in a car accident, the state of Florida only gives you a specific amount of time to file a claim. So act now, give us a call.
Selfless service is the principle that guides Army National Guard soldiers to be ready whenever disaster strikes. They have a stake in the well-being of the neighborhoods where they live and work. They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times. Selfless service, it's what inspires the men and women of the Army National Guard to be part of something greater than themselves. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more.
We answered the call of duty and left our homes to serve in far-off lands. Now, we answer another call, this time at home, in our own communities, to respond in times of chaos, to use our strength, our skills, and our experiences to bring hope amid devastation and destruction. Together, as a team of brothers and sisters, we're continuing our mission to make this country a little stronger and a little better each day. We are Team Rubicon.